Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rachakwadash, the bonus to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the doctrine that's out there pushing in sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video on a topic that I was meditating on a little earlier. You know, when you're out and about, you start meditating on many numerous things, man. And you know, this is one topic that kind of made me go, hey, I want to do a video on it. So this is where we are now, right? Over righteousness. All right, over righteousness. You know, uh certain things, you know, are called for in certain times, while others aren't. You know, we're not in super extreme times right now, right? Don't go broke over crazy things. You know what I mean? As far as as for like for example, we're gonna get a scripture. I'm not gonna keep this very long. For example, health, right? Yes, we do spend the money on health. You know, everything's high. Health, unhealthy things are high, right? But healthier things are even higher. Yes, we spend the money on health. But the thing is, if you absolutely do not have it, there are some brothers out there. There are some jakes out there, brothers too. There's some brothers out there that'll say something on the lines of, well, I rather have my body together, um, than or rather have my health together than a roof over my head, right? Or having the money, right? And the thing is, we're not in those extreme times right now, right? We're still able to live amongst the public, okay? We're not in the wilderness right now, okay? That's not called for. You can get away. The last time I checked, you can get away with being a little unhealthy, so-called unhealthy, versus having a bill cut off. We're not in those times right now. So trim those lamps a little bit, and we're going to get that. We're going to get to the meaning of that too. Trim those lamps a little bit. That's just one example. There are many examples. All right. But anyway, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Right, because if you're doing too much studying, which we've seen people do, they did too much studying. They were sharp. They go out there, give me that scripture, give me that scripture, give me this scripture, and could call 100 scriptures per minute. You know, um, they or 200 scriptures per minute, right? They burn out. We've seen people burn out like that, right? So there's over righteousness. You know, I rather have this than to have a roof over my head. I'll make myself homeless and this, that, and the other because I'm just this oh so righteous man. There's a thing of being righteous and there's a thing of being just stupid, right? And like I said, we're going to get that in a second, right? Um, let's get um. There's another thing I wanted to point out too, when it comes to this being not righteous over much. So this is like the AI overview. Um, let's see here. Yeah, many interpretations. This is the meaning of it being over righteous, man. All right. It says many interpretations suggest this warns against being hypocritical or pretentious in one's righteousness or being so focused on trivial aspects that one neglects the more important parts of faith. Exactly. It says so when you do stuff like this, when you're over righteous, you start neglecting things. And like I said, this is the type of stuff that burns you out. This will burn you out. All right. It says it is a warning against self-destruction. Exactly. Right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get this one. Let's get another. Oh, and first I want to go into the lamp trimming real quick, right? So when you go into trimming your lamps, I'm not going to get the scripture because it's a parable of the 10 virgins. You probably know about it. But the point of the trimming your lamps, all right, this is what it is right here. You have to you have to um trim it, cutting the burnt charred part of the wick, right? To allow for a steady bright flame and adding oil. If you're doing too much and you don't trim that, what's going to happen to the fire, right? So again, I just wanted to point that out. Now let's go to here, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. It says now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, right? So if you're striving for a mastery, you have to be temperate in everything, man. You know, you can't just be this super Israelite all of a sudden, you know, throwing out personal belongings because you feel like, you know what I mean? We've seen people throw out game consoles and all kinds of stuff. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. But again, what happened to these people? You threw out all this stuff. You threw out your woman. You did all this stuff, and where are you at? Right? You're nowhere to be found because you're doing too much. You're doing too much. That's Jake's problem. Hell, that's my problem. Sometimes, a lot of times, man, just doing too much. All right. It's modest. This is the definition of temperate, and I don't know what the hell is this ad is down here. Modest, forbearing, self-restraint. Key right there. Just right there. I'm gonna just stop it right there. Self-restraint. Right. So you gotta restrain yourself. What you may think is you being righteous. Told about, yeah, I'd rather have this than that. Well, bro, we save that for when we in those times. Right now, we're not. Go to work, pay your bills, and do what you gotta do. Save all that strength for later. Because right now we not in the time of that right now. Yes, things are getting more and more intense. Yes, we understand that. So yeah, go with the times. Don't do too much. Because again, guys like that fall out. Like I said, what you think is righteous is really what you're doing is you're neglecting yourself, and then you start turning into a demon. You start overstudying because there is a such thing as overstudying. Because you look into this, you look into that, and you look into and then you don't know where to go. Right? Am I saying stop learning? No. But again, like the scriptures tell you, there's a such thing as overstudying. You burn out. Because it's like, what are you doing it for? That's when it comes down to, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for your faith, or are you doing it for anybody that's faithful? They don't need to do all that. You know, they're just trying their best to get by, man. Doing all that extra is unnecessary. All right. So anyway, that's all I got on this, man. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep it very long. Um, don't be righteous over much, man. Like I said, certain things are called for in certain times, but as of for right now, some things aren't. Right. So anyway, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAKHAKWADASH. Shalom.